So my goal this year is to produce the best educational content out there for youth. La 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 lilo. Hello everybody, I've not made a video since the referendum but have been working very hard on a lot of things, so let me catch you up. The True Arrow Academy of Critical Thinking platform is now live, accessible at tact.school. It's early days for content production, but this year's a big one, so there's a lot coming. And if you want an education platform for your kids and young adults, please show some love and sign up. After reviewing a ton of resumes, I've contracted a brave and talented full-time animator, and I'm looking to form a fearless team of animators this year. So I really do need some support. A condensed chapter from Thomas Sowell's Black Rednecks and White Liberals, titled The Real History of Slavery, will be animated. It's a big one. While slavery is not a prominent issue in Australia, early Australians in fact liberated slaves globally and imprisoned slave traders, Thomas Sowell challenges the American victim industry, which connects to relevant animated series being developed about Australia, both disrupting certain postmodern influences with something pretty simple known as truth. Thomas Sowell kindly let me know he's just too old at 93 to create specific lessons, and I was planning to go and film him in America, but that I am welcome to use material from his latest book, Social Justice Fallacies. So be prepared for lessons on that also. We have our own unique victim industry in Australia, but before all the subversion and such, we need an honest and truthful understanding of Australian history. Not just since 1788, but one that includes ancient history. This feature series of the Academy will focus on uncommon Australian history, an area often neglected, distorted, or replaced by communist and postmodern influences, among others. The primary objective is to develop unparalleled lessons that delve into Australia's unconventional history, aiming to rectify distortions and provide an insightful exploration of the nation's unique past. This ambitious goal is achievable and represents a significant undertaking for the Academy. To lay a robust foundation for this very large unit, I'll draw from the extensive work of Geoffrey Blainey, one of Australia's premier historians. Particularly his two-part book, The Story of Australia's People. Condensing and distilling the 300,000 words, which I've been doing for some time now, and hence why I haven't been making videos, the animations will feature unique and vital insights seldom found in contemporary classrooms, but offered at the True Arrow Academy of Critical Thinking. This will reveal hidden aspects of history, challenging and upending the prevailing narrative of inherent racism since 1788. For example, contrary to the notion of intentionally forming a white society, officials lacking female convicts in Britain attempted to find Aboriginal wives. However, none came forward or were offered by Aboriginal fathers. So Britons then explored options for finding women among various island groups for the arrival of the men in the first fleet of convicts, but this too failed. So the British government resorted to paying the travel fare for women from the British Isles as well as other female convicts later on. The first native-born children of white men in Australia, and very intentionally, would have been of mixed heritage from the get-go. This epic and growing chapter of educational content on the Academy will also prompt critical thinking on various topics, including climate change, challenging conventional perspectives prevalent in modern Australian education. I would also like to thank a wonderful woman who shall remain anonymous for helping to review and improve these lesson scripts. You know who you are, and thanks very much. Then, while this massive unit is being animated, a lot of other interesting Australian stories will be developed. For example, Jeff MacDonald, a former communist, was expelled from the Communist Party for criticising its exploitation of Aboriginal people. His book Red Over Black exposes the communist influence on Aboriginal causes, or creation of those causes as well, since the early 20th century. Australian communists aim to create division in Australia, and the connections between the recent referendum defeat and communist strategies are evident. Although Jeff MacDonald has passed away, his book will serve as a valuable lesson resource In the meantime, I've found an individual with first-hand experience of communist manipulation of Aboriginal communities who is currently developing an academy lesson, which also provides a history of the 1967 referendum, the lead up to it, issues during it, and specifically issues after it. A crucial upcoming unit will focus on postmodernism, while communism symbolised the blowing up of the metaphorical house of democracy, liberty and Western civilization with tanks. Postmodernism is likened to introducing termites into the walls. Over extended periods, these termites gradually erode the foundations until the house collapses under its own weight. Professor Stephen Hicks, who I toured here a few years ago, who imparted postmodernism insights to Jordan Peterson, who I also toured even longer ago, will lead this unit. His eloquent, bold and accessible writing style makes this unit indispensable for individuals, young and old, in any Western country. An upcoming animation unit will delve into the theme of conformity, exploring notable experiments from the 60s and 70s, such as the Milgram's electricity experiment, Solomon Asch conformity experiments, and the Stanford Prison experiment. These experiments yield fascinating results, shedding light on how conformity can easily manifest and serve as a precursor to more sinister 20th century and 21st century experiments. A specific focus on Plato's allegory of the cave will be included, drawing parallels with the recent global pandemic response. Two ongoing projects are 1. Climate realism and 2. Critical thinking on Aboriginal issues. Climate realism will continue delving into the prevailing climate change discourse worldwide. Platform currently features notable educators like Professor Peter Ridd, offering insights into the Great Barrier Reef's history, academia's shortcomings, and scientific knowledge of coral health. And Dr. Patrick Moore, co-founder of Greenpeace, also contributes by sharing his journey and addressing specific climate change issues with Melbourne youth. Critical thinking on Aboriginal issues will also continue, and the platform currently hosts Dr. Anthony Dillon, a psychologist with Aboriginal ancestry who teaches critical perspectives on the Aboriginal victim industry in Australia and strategies for closing the gap. So it's a massive ton of work ahead. If you'd like to support this initiative and become an early Academy member, you can sign up, participate in quizzes that are already on the platform, and receive certificates upon completing these short courses. The project is both scary and very, very exciting and challenging, with many more developments ahead. Being a member will help create a better educational resource for the next generation, both in Australia and globally. Okay, well, it's back to going through Blaney's works, chapter by chapter, paragraph by paragraph, sentence by sentence. So my goal this year is to produce the best educational content out there for youth. Wish me luck. Back to work. Back to work, or I could get involved with a conversation with a flat earther. No, do work. Do work. Work, 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 10 hours a day.